So today you're going to start doing your research on the topic that you and your partner have selected. And we're doing this so that you can confirm what you think you already know about this topic and to get information about some of the questions that you have written or some of the questions that you might create as you're learning more about your topic. And so the first thing that we need to talk about today is thinking about how do we find sources of information and how do we know if those sources of information are good sources of information. And so there are a couple of characteristics, some things that we're going to keep in mind as we are looking for information on our topics. And so the three things that we want to keep in mind is we want to think about, is the source of information reliable? Is this from a trustworthy or a dependable resource? We want to make sure that the information that we're finding is current. Is it something that's up to date? Something that's like recently written? And we want to make sure that it's accurate. So if you get on a website and you notice that there's lots of mistakes on there, or it might look like it was written by a child or not an expert, then that would not be something that we want to use as a resource of information. So this is where it's going to get a little bit hairy and tricky for you guys. So when you find information, you really need to, like, before you get all excited and dig too much into it, you need to use these three characteristics to decide and really evaluate if you think this is a source that you want to use or a source that you should use. So I'm going to walk you through what that might look like. I did some research and I just pulled up some information about melting ice shelves, since that was my topic. And I literally just did a Google search and typed in melting ice shelves. And these are the things that came up. And so I'm going to hit one of these resources here. And before I even dig too far into it, I'm going to use our criteria. So thinking about, is this a reliable, a trustworthy, or dependable source? I noticed that this is from scientificamerican.com. And so I know that this is not some guy sitting at home writing this. Like, this is a scientific website. This is written probably by an expert. So it kind of checks that box. Then I'm going to look to see if it's current. And I noticed that this was literally just published this fall in 2020. So it's definitely current. And I'm going to see as much as I can if it's something that is accurate or correct and without mistakes. And so I'm going to look at here. I have to accept these cookies. Look at my website. I can read the text. It's got some good photographs. It looks to me to be well written, and it looks like it is something that would probably make a good resource. So that one I'm going to kind of file away in my back pocket and thinking that it might be one that I could use. And then I've got another one here. Look, National Geographic. And I know that National Geographic is a very reliable source. So we've got Antarctica's ice is melting. And it looks fairly current. It's from last year, but that's still, like, it's not like 10 years ago. So it's definitely current. And it looks like it's got some quotes by experts. Like, it looks pretty official. So I think this would be a good source. So today, part of your work is going to be to work with, if you're here in class, we would work with a partner.